Tiwena musron tropo Namo nyirenti pro Kode no nwa Congo Oh samokno Bina fanonye Yono komwe ya siatia mulongo Yenu mona Yenu mona Yenu mona Yenu mona Wenti sise Tesu le mone Yenu mona Yenu mona Yeswa siko Tiwe Yenu mona Saronje tu yoweji Nyone ono wowe Pleti wetli Oh mungo ma Benade weye Omuna we won Omunye tu Ye moda Ye no mona Yenu mona Mighty sisi Tesu le mode Yenu mona Sakra rebieble Swasiko Tiwe Yenu mona Siete asno mosienyo Omona kunyo Nye kodrudini anesronja Prikwinyo Wurawenyo Ye mu besie Nye swa mona wiwo Omunjetu Ye modeko Ye no mona Yenu mona Wenti sisi Tesu le mone Yenu mona Yeswa siko Tiwe Yenu mona Yenu mona Oh, Yenu mona Wenti sisi Tesu le mone Yenu mona Yeswa siko Tiwe Yenu mona Yeswa siko Tiwe Yenu mona Yeswa siko Tiwe Yenu mona
Welcome to another edition of LetMenTalk Motivational Thursday. Facebook, I have absolutely no copyrights to the songs or music that is playing in the background. I welcome you to another edition of LetMenTalk Motivational Thursday. And tonight is going to be a little different. And we hope that for the next few minutes, you can spend some time with us. So again, I welcome you to another edition of Let Men Talk Motivational Thursday. Facebook, I have absolutely no copyrights to the song that has been playing in the background.
Tiwena musron trobo Namo nyirenti pro Kode non wakombo Oh samofno Bina fanonye Nyono komwe ya siatia mulombo Yenu mona Yenu mona Yenu mona Waiti sise Tesu le mone Yenu mona Yeswa sigo Tiwe Yenu mona Saronje tu yaweji Nyone ono wowe Kleti weti wetli Oh mungo ma Benade weye Omuna we won Omunye tu Ye moda Ye no mona Yenu mona Mighty sisi Tesu le mune Yenu mona Sakra reviable Swasigo Tiwe Yenu mona Siete asno mosienyo Omona kunyo Nye kodrudini ane sronja Brikwi kwinyo Urarenyo Ye mu besie Nye swa mona wiwo Omunjetu Ye modeko Ye no mona Yenu mona Waiti sise Tesu le mone Yenu mona Yeswa sigo Tiwe Yenu mona Oh, Yenuna, Mighty Sisi, Tesu le mone Yenu mona Yeswa sigo Tiwe Yenu mona Cyclone, Tiwe, no mona, Tiwe, Tiwe, no mona,
I'm the founder of LetMenTalk, whose mission is to provide a safe space for second chance for disadvantaged youth. What do I hope to achieve? I hope to be more influential. I hope to be more meaningful. I hope also to be a blessing not only to my generation, but generations yet unborn. Because I strongly believe that if you take care of God's business, He will take care of yours. Thank you. Good evening again. Edition of Deadman Talk, Motivational Thursday. I'm grateful that you guys can join me. And tonight, I just want to spend a few minutes. There's a lot of trending topics that are happening here in America and in Liberia, but I want to focus my lens specifically. Let Men Talk. When I think of Let Men Talk, it is a non-profit organization that we are involved into awareness and advocacy. We are also involved into mentorship. We're involved into prison ministry. So every Thursday, if the time permits, we come out here and just have a conversation to motivate our friends and brothers and sisters. Well, my attention tonight has been drawn when we speak of advocacy and awareness. My attention has been drawn to the trending topic in Liberia when it comes to do with the alleged rape of a 14-year-old girl by the deputy minister of information. They allege, I want to underscore the word alleged because a lot of things are happening in Liberia, in America. But for some of us who are advocates of women's rights, for some of us who are advocates, we want to make sure that we shine a light on certain things. And these things, when the nation is crying, when there's public outcry, I think we want to come to the conversation and bring some sense to the discourse. It is important for us to talk about some of these topics. As much as possible, we may shy away. We must also take a position. And so tonight, I wanted to spend just 5 minutes or 10 minutes just to talk about the issue, the alleged rape in Liberia of a 14-year-old girl by the Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports. I believe his name is Bryant McGill. It is alleged. I want to underscore the word alleged before we even get into our discussion or topic tonight. A lot of positions have been taken, and when we look at the Liberian political landscape, we have people of different persuasions. What should happen? What should the government do? What should we as a people do? When you hear something, what do you say? What is your position? From Let Men Talk position, I think it is important for us to provide some information, some education. So what I've been doing the last 2 days, I've been speaking to some lawyers in Liberia. I've also been speaking to people of influence to find out what happened. What is the issue? Why is it that some up to now action or probable actions have not been taken? Well, based on some research and based on some information, I've come to the discourse armed with certain information. All right. So now when we think about rape in the Liberian space, under Liberian law, rape in Liberia is criminalized by amendment of Chapter 14 of the Penal Code. All right. And the law classifies rape as either a first or second degree felony with the severity determined by the circumstances of the crime. All right. So we have to understand under Liberian law, a person commits rape if they intentionally penetrates a person's body with their penis, another part of the body, or a foreign object without the victim's consent, without the victim's consent. So lack of consent is presumed in several situations, okay, including when a victim is either asleep, unconscious, or incapacitated by a substance. So there are so many things that can lead to a victim, okay, not being able to consent when it comes to rape. So Liberian law is different. A lot of folks have asked, but why is it now that the alleged minister, sometimes we have different classes of people, you know, when it's a bigger person or known individual, sometimes care has to be taken. I watched carefully yesterday the the press conference by I watched carefully the press conference by the police inspector general when he was talking about this case. In some situations, when the case of rape is reported, the individual is arrested, when they have evidence, and all of those different things, we have to establish probable cause. Under the law, you have to a establish probable cause, and you cannot just get up, arrest somebody because oh, somebody says they were raped and what have you. I want to firstly say, in this situation, it is very, very concerning because a 14-year-old girl is considered to be what? Rape by a foot, rape of a 14-year-old is statutory rape. All right, and such rape, it has to be taken with the utmost seriousness. And so a rape suspect is arrested when the law enforcement has probable cause to believe that the crime was committed and the suspect committed the crime. The law enforcement officer, which is the police, they must come to the conclusion that they have probable cause to believe the crime was committed and that the suspect committed the crime. So this standard requires sufficient evidence to make it more likely than not that a rape occurred and the suspect is responsible. So what are some of the things that we gather when it comes to rape? Evidence can include the victim's statement, which is what we have. In this case, we have the victim statement, the 14-year-old girl. Witness accounts. Sometimes we may have witness account. Medical records. I've come to understand that there are some medical records that have been presented in this case, and digital evidence like text messages, social media posts, and all of those different things. However, even with probable cause, suspect might not be immediately, I underscore the word immediately, because there's a public outcry as to why this individual has not been arrested, even though he's been brought in for questioning. One of the things I've gathered is that this rape took place sometimes, I understand, early this month or last month, but the report itself was filed a few days later. So when the report is filed a few days later, obviously there is some collection of evidence. You have to come to the discourse and go to the police, bring evidence, witness statement, interview. I understand interviewing they are interviewing the suspect on a daily basis. He reports to the National Police Headquarters on a daily basis. I have interest in this matter because rape is something that should not happen in our country. Obviously, at first instinct, I'll be like, oh, this guy should be arrested. He should be placed in jail. But I understand the passion about this topic only because when it's other people, now somebody asks, why there's other people who have been arrested and placed in jail and all of those things? When the evidence is overwhelming, I underscore the word overwhelming because when the police have probable cause, when they believe that the evidence is overwhelming, for instance, the victim's statement details account from the survivor that can be significant piece of evidence. There's corroborating evidence. There's physical evidence. There's CCTV evidence. All of those different things. Okay, police can put it together and say we have probable cause to arrest and detain this person and turn him or her over to the magistrate. So tonight, when we think about this situation, it has to be handled with care, no matter the social status of the accused. So Brian McGill, or whatever his name is, I don't even know who this person is. This Brian McGill person, he's a deputy minister for youth and sports. While it is true he's a government official, I think it's important that care be taken into this matter, because once you arrest him and put him in jail, that means you have probable cause. Now, when we argue about, they have evidence already. Why is Colonel Gregory Coleman, Inspector General of the Republic of Liberia, delaying this matter? Why have they not arrested him yet? Oh, we already know they have medical records. They had all of those things. There has to be, once the police believe that the information in their possession is not sufficient enough to execute an arrest, they probably will not do so. They probably will not do so. And that's why they are taking the time, they are dotting their I's and crossing the T's to make sure, because once you arrest this guy on a statutory, because it's a statutory offense, rape is a statutory, it's you, once you arrest this guy and he goes to jail, he has to remain there, right, until trial. And if he's found guilty, he will spend time. If he is not found guilty, he will be released. So the government has to be sure. The government has to be sure as to what and how to carry out this matter, because it is important. It is also important for there to be a speedy, investigation, because we can't be wasting time. We can't be wasting time in this matter to be saying, "Oh, we're still investigating." Gregory Coleman, this thing came to his attention, I think, a month or so ago. By now, you would think, but I can understand the limitations that we have. With the limitation that we don't have certain DNA machines or certain machines or certain things that will help us in solidifying our case. And so those are some of the delay, quote unquote, delay tactics. Also, those are some of the challenges that the Liberia National Police have that will cause them now to say this matter is still being investigated. But I want everyone to be assured that once everything has been checked, the Liberia National Police have given us the assurance that this suspect, if they've come to the conclusion that they have probable cause, he will be arrested. He will be detained. So I want to encourage all of us to continue to raise the awareness on this issue. We cannot let our foot off the brakes. I'm especially proud of the women who continue to protest, I think, at the gender ministry, and some other footage that I saw in Liberia with them trying to raise awareness to this, because we cannot condone this. No matter your situation or your status in society, rape is rape. Somebody's daughter has been raped here, and it is important for justice to take its course. Justice must take its course. And so I want to use this time from LetMenTalk's perspective to call on national government, to call on the Liberian National Police, to ensure that this is speedy and justice is done as quickly as possible. Yeah, we're waiting for certain things here and there. This man, he may be a threat to society, because yes, he has been released and he's supposed to report to the Liberia National Police every day. Every day, you have to come to the Liberia National Police. Questions are being asked. He goes home. Thankfully, I underscore the word thankfully, because the president has suspended him from his duties. He's been suspended Some may call for his firing, but while under investigation, he's being suspended from his role as deputy minister for youth and sport. He's no longer in the government pending the outcome of this investigation. I think that was a right move on the part of the government to suspend this individual because he's accused of a serious crime under Liberia law. He's accused of a serious crime, and as such, care is taken, and he has been brought in for questioning. He continues to be asked questions here and there, but I want to use this time to call on the Liberia National Police, the Gender Ministry, and all of those other agencies of government that's responsible for handling this case for them to act speedily. Because the more this guy is out of jail, the more this thing is delayed, public sentiment will be against the national government. And so we ought to act and act swiftly. We ought to ensure that our children are safe in Liberia and everywhere. We ought to make sure that these things are not things that we should take easily. We should not take them for granted. So my position on this whole thing is that I am calling for a speedy investigation so that this man, with the evidence in the hands of the police, I don't know how long it will take. According to Prophet Kuhlman, they are waiting for some machine or something from the U.S. embassy or whatever. But we have a local hospital in Liberia that have already identified that this girl was tampered with. I believe she has her clothes. And all of those things will be put together. And that's why Kumo is putting everything together to effectuate an arrest. Because once an arrest is effectuated, and this guy goes to jail, he's not coming out until after the trial. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of us who are advocating for an immediate arrest, it is understandable. We want, because there's two sides of the persuasion here. There are folks who are advocating that he should be arrested immediately and thrown in jail. Granted, it's great. At the same time, the government, through the Liberia National Police, is saying they want to cross their T's and dot the I. Let us, from LetMenTalk perspective, I believe we should give the Liberia National Government the benefit of the doubt to cross their T's and dot the I's. Because when they do so, the beauty of this thing is the girl is in protective custody. The gentleman in question, he is under pretty much 24/7 surveillance. He cannot leave the country. Yes, he may go home and report to the Liberia National Police every day, but I'm sure an eagle's eye is on him. He's not going anywhere. Wherever he is, for all the women are in Liberia, the time he would take to go to 14-year-old, it just beats my imagination because too many free women in Liberia of age that he could talk to. He's in a position of influence. And so I want to use this time to caution all of us to exercise patience, to wait and see. While waiting, we should continue raising awareness. We should continue raising awareness on this issue that rape is wrong. It should not be controlled in our society. And anybody, regardless of your social status in the society, you must be brought to justice. So I'm hoping that this gentleman, this deputy minister, can be brought to book as quickly as possible with the evidence that is in the possession of the Liberia National Police. I want to assume that by now they should have probable cause established to effectuate an arrest. And that's my position on this thing. They should look at the evidence, arrest this brother, take him to trial. They have enough evidence. But again, I'm not the one to say, yes, this is enough. It is in the purview of the Liberia National Police. And they will make that determination as to whether the evidence they have is enough to effectuate an arrest. Whenever we see something, we say something. What we say from that mental perspective is that justice must be given to this 14-year-old. We have to set example, because when example is set, other will-be perpetrators will not do it. There are so many videos around on social media and other places of people involved in rape, whether it's in Liberia or other countries. We must bring an end to this madness. We must bring an end to this madness because it is the right thing to do. And for Brian, whatever his name is, Brian McGill, who has been accused, you better have the evidence to say it's not you, because we will nail you. We will nail you because this is something that affects the entire country. We will not sit here, no matter whether we're in America, we're in Europe, or wherever, when this issue, when this crime is committed, the whole nation is at edge. We are on the edge, and we want to make sure you are prosecuted and dealt with under the confines of the law. That's what we want to do. That's why I've come up here to give my position. And my position is, I'm calling on Liberia national government, I'm calling on the Liberia national police, the national police, to speedily, okay, move and arrest the suspect. Arrest the suspect based on the evidence I'm sure that you have in your hands. The evidence that you have in your hands, you can sit down and say, this is probable cause to move forward with an arrest. Then the justice, the law will take its course. The law is the law. Liberia is a country of law. We are inviting people to come to Liberia. We are inviting investors. We are inviting tourists. And all of those people come to Liberia. We don't want a situation where people will continue to say there is no law and there is no justice in Liberia. That's the reason why I've come with my personal position. I believe, based on the information available to me, that yes, Colonel Gregory Coleman, Inspector of Police, will give you the time to do all of your work, but do not let up. This should not be swept under the rug. Actions must be taken, and taken as quickly as possible. That's my position. And for those of us who are calling for him to be arrested, I want there to be enough evidence, enough probable cause that the police can rely on to effectuate the arrest. Make sure he's in hindsight. Make sure he's in clear view that you can get to him at any time. And this little girl, she should be taken care of. Her family should not be intimidated, because I know, or I heard a lot of underground intimidation is going on here and there. All this foolishness must stop. Justice for this little girl. Thankfully, her name has not been released because, to protect the family. We can understand that. All of these different things, she will be protected. But we don't want this to happen anymore. I will thank you for listening to me. I want to thank you for allowing me to share my position on what should happen, and let us give the process. Let us give the process a chance. And I'm pretty sure in the not too distant future, we will definitely get the results that we are all looking for. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a blessed one. We will be here again next Thursday on another edition of LetMenTalk, Motivational Thursday, discussing any trending topic or referencing it to the Bible as well. Have a good night, folks. Have a very, very good night, folks. Thank you again, and you'll be blessed. Okay, bye for now.